with us while we experiment to find a way to provide you some content and to just stay connected during this time. I think we can just go ahead and dive in. So for today, if you have yoga blocks, cool. You can place them towards the top of your mat, but it's not necessary. So no need if you don't have anything. There's only a small portion where you might want to use them, but it's not a big deal. So I'm really excited for this class because I've had it in my heart for a while that I wanted to kind of offer something a little bit more movement based than yoga in terms of just little cardio bursts. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. It'll be a little bit of this experiment for us all together. So if you don't know why you're here or what you signed up for, we're going to be doing a 30-minute class titled Yoga Fit, whatever that means. And it's going to basically just be a yoga class with little bursts of cardio built into this portion of it. So the goal is to get you in and out of here within about 30 minutes. We're going to get the blood flowing and moving in the body, preparing ourselves to just feel really good as we move throughout our day or through our week. So know that this is your practice. So you guys take rest, water whenever you need it. I want you to find your own pace. You don't have to keep up with what I'm doing. And we're going to get started on our backs. So if you're sitting up, go ahead and make your way down. And I'll make my way down in a moment. Well, let's start just on our backs. You can close the eyes down for a moment. And then I want you to place your hands right over top of your belly. So our class today, we're going to focus on the core. That's our little theme. If that made you shudder slightly, don't stress about it because it's going to be fun. So the theme of our core, that's really inspired by tapping into our inner fire. We want to connect to our power. So our core, that area around the belly button, is our solar plexus, if we're talking chakra, yoga talk. And that is our sense of self-identity. And that's where we get our strength. So today we are going to build that fire. We're going to build our resilience. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So let's get started. We're going to dive right in. So you're lying on your backs. We're going to warm up our core. So let's start by interlacing the hands behind the head and have the elbows point right up towards the sky. All right, so it's almost like you're making this little cocoon for the head here. And then we're going to lift the feet up so the knees stack right over top of the hips. And flex the toes back towards the face. So before we move or we go anywhere, I want you to really connect the ribs down towards the earth. So the lower ribs, the low back, the mid back. And we want to keep that connection as we fire up the core. So we stay really contained. Okay, and I'm going to include modifications as we go. So let's start off nice and slow. We'll take a big breath in. And then on the exhale, lift the head and the shoulders up. And then inhale, we lower back down. All right, we'll do that a few times. Exhale, lift, head and the shoulders rise up. And then inhale, lower. So this is not a fast crunch. Continue to move. We're going really slow. I want you to focus on drawing out the breath here. All right, next time you lift up, let's just hold there for a moment. Do a check-in. All right, so you want to allow the head to fall back into the hands. All right, so we're not pulling on the head. The head is resting in the hands, that little cocoon, our support, and then go ahead, lower down. All right, so if this is enough this morning, you just stay like that. If you're ready to add on, exhale, let's lift up. Take a little twist towards the right. So we're lifting both shoulder blades off the mat or intending that. And then we're going to extend the left leg up towards the sky. All right, push through the left heel. And then we lower the foot down just a few inches above the mat. And then re-bend the knee so it stacks over the hip. On the left side, left leg straightens up. So we stay on this side, same thing. Straighten the leg as you lower it down towards the earth. And then re-bend the knee and we lengthen back up. Let's do 2 more cycles. So it's kind of like this, it's like a slow motion bicycle kick where we're staying on the one side. All right, last round here with the left leg moving. When you re-bend the knee, come back to center, lower the head and the shoulders down. Right, make sure you're still breathing through that movement. Exhale, lift up. Let's go to the other side. Twisting to the left, just a couple inches. Try to bring the shoulder blades off. Make sure you're not pulling the knees into the body. We want the knees over top of the hips. And now the right leg goes straight up towards the sky. Push through the heels, take a big breath in, and then exhale. We lower right leg to a hover, a few degrees, re-bend the knee, and then we lengthen. Yeah, you got it. So keep moving through that extension, slow motion as that right leg, like it's swimming kind of through the sky. Let's do one more round here, not rushing this heat. All right, once you're done, come back to center, re-bend the knee, head and shoulders lower. All right, we're not done yet. Extend the legs up to the sky. Let's build our heat, little toe taps. Right hand reaches to tap the outside edge of the left foot, and then we lower back down. All right, switch sides. Left fingertips outside of the right foot, and then lower, and we keep moving side to side. Right, so you can go as slow as you want, pausing in between, or you can just stay lifted, and we tap, tap, tap. Keep moving, staying with your breath. Warming up the body. Last 3, 2, and 1. Release. Lower down. Pull the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. And then we bring the feet down towards the earth. Right, our next stop is going to be our bridge pose. So we want the feet hip distance apart. You should be able to graze the heels with the fingertips. And then we're going to ground into the feet. We'll lift the hips up just a few inches here. All right, so when I think of bridge pose, right, one of the most common misalignments, and if you can see the video, you don't have to, is flaring the ribs and the belly up. So it's kind of like we think, okay, the higher we lift the hips, the better we are in our bridge pose, but it's the opposite. I want you to feel the belly and the ribs pulling down towards the earth. So we stay contained, we're protecting the spine, and our pelvis is nice and neutral here. Focus on activating through the glutes and pushing down through the big toe mound. So that's kind of like our anchor. Both big toe mounds here connected to the earth without really gripping the toes. And we're going to stretch out the wrists. So bring the hands up to the sky like you're holding a tray in the palms. We flex the fingers back towards the face. Let's come over to the right fingertips. And we just gently pull the right fingertips back. So we're stretching out the wrists, the forearms while we warm up the glutes. And when you've had enough on this side, we're going to stay in our bridge. Let's stretch out the left wrist, pull the left fingertips back. All right, your challenge, make sure you're still breathing here. Let's not hold the breath. Try to relax the face. Take one more big breath in. And then exhale. Let's release down. And we hug the knees back in towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And when you're ready, we're going to roll up to a seated shape. Just sitting comfortably cross-legged. And we're going to continue our warm-up. So reach the hands out in front of the body. And you're going to pretend like you have these little rain droplets on the fingertips, and we're just going to flick that rain off the fingers. All right, so now we're starting to fire up the forearms. All right, we're going to be moving through some plank postures today, playing a little bit on the wrist. So it's just really important that we feel ready for that, bearing weight on the wrist. So go a little bit faster. Keep going. Now we go as fast as we can. Light up those forearms. Get the blood moving through the body, and then go ahead, release. Hands come down to the shoulders. You can shake it out. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Big breath in, and then exhale, the shoulders come back. One more like that. Really exaggerate. Shoulders roll up. You can bend the elbows, arms along for the ride, and then exhale, release. Pivot around. Let's get going here. We're going to continue our warm-up. Come right into your tabletop shape. And then we lower the forearms down. So we're prepping here for a dolphin pose, right? So dolphin, you can have your palms grounded, or you can interlace your fingers. It's just whatever feels comfortable for the body. And we want to make sure the elbows are right underneath the shoulders. When you're ready, let's tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back towards the sky. Right? If this is too much, then just stay on your knees. And if this feels good, we just start to play by walking the feet a little closer in towards the face. Right, soften through the knees. It doesn't matter how close you can get the heels to the earth. And then I want you to push the forearms down. So we're really pushing the hips up and back. So it's this active grounding into the earth, either through the palms or the forearms. And then we're just continuing to breathe. Let's invite our movement in here. Option on the inhale to rise onto the toes. And then exhale, we soften the heels down. We'll do that again 2 more times. Inhale, rise up onto the toes, and then exhale, relax the heels down. Last one, moving with the breath. And we soften, heels come down. Let's walk the feet out, forearm plank. We're still active. All right, so the hips should be relatively in line with the shoulders. At any point, you go ahead and drop the knees down and you can stay in a modified forearm plank. If the knees are lifted, we're just going to tap it out here. Tap the right knee to the earth, and then we lift it back up. Right, switch sides. Left knee taps and lifts. One more each side. Try not to sway here. So we're staying really steady through the shoulders, really steady through the pelvis. Now go ahead, lower the knees down. Come right to the belly, Sphinx pose. The heart is going to stay lifted here. Right, so our Sphinx shape, we're up on the forearms. The chest is proud. So we're not sinking down into the shoulders. We're pushing the earth away. The heart is lifted. And we're pulling the low belly in and squeezing the glutes. So we're active, right? That's how we really protect the low back here, the spine. Catch your breath here. Let's take one more full breath in. And then we come to the belly, sliding the palms underneath the shoulders. Firm up the legs here. Push the tops of the feet down. And then we rise up, cobra pose. Very little weight in the hands, just lifting the heart. And then exhale, go ahead, fold forward. Tuck the toes, push to the knees, tabletop shape, and then downward facing dog, hips to the sky. All right, our first down dog, so just go ahead. Pedal out the heels. You can invite a little bit of movement into this shape. And then eventually we settle in, stillness here, get our foundation. And we're going to be transitioning through plank. So it's really important that you feel this shape and that we have a really healthy down dog. So instead of dropping the chest to the earth, I want you to focus on lifting towards the upper back, pulling the belly button in. We're still in our down dog. Just walking through some foundational cues here. When you're ready, we're going to rise onto our toes, look to the top of the mat, and take as many steps as you need to arrive there. Let's take a halfway lift, hands towards the shins, big breath in. And then exhale, fingertips to the earth, left foot steps back. We're going to stay on those left toes, so we're in a lunge here. If you have blocks, you're more than welcome to place them under the hands, but you don't need them necessarily. And we're just going to lower, tap that back knee down towards the earth, and then we lift it back up. So little taps here, nice and slow. Left knee lowers and taps, and then we lift it back up. So keep moving, just tapping here. And what we're doing now, what we want to focus on is really starting to wake that left glute muscle up. Right, make sure your front knee is over top of the ankle, right? We don't want to compromise the joints here. Let's do one more tap. Take your time. When we lift the knee, we hold here and we pivot to the left side lunge towards the back of the mat. So we side lunge left and then we side lunge to the right. Start off nice and slow. You can keep the fingertips down so they're going to drag or kind of just tap the earth. What I want you to focus on is that we're not leaning the chest forward. The head's not dropping down. Keep your integrity in your spine. All right, we're moving, warming up the inner thighs. Let's do one more round. And then we come all the way back towards the top of the mat. Use the help of the hands. Pivot onto the feet. Big step forward. Land the feet together. Halfway lift, hands to shins on the inhale. And then exhale, fold. All right, chair pose. Bend the knees. Reach the hands up towards the sky. All right, chair pose, feet can be together or hip distance apart, whatever feels stable and secure for the low back. All right, we're not sticking the bum out. We're actually pulling in and sitting back and down. All right, let's move here. Dynamic chair. Straighten out the legs, palms come down alongside the body. And then we drop in chair pose. Inhale, reach to the sky, bend the knees. Exhale, we stand. All right, keep moving. So this is where you get to play. You find your own rhythm. You go as fast or as slow as you need to today. Yeah, let's do one more cycle. Sinking into the hips, hold chair pose. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, we fold, fingertips to the earth. Right foot steps back. Getting ready for our taps here. So we're up onto the fingertips or the blocks, and then we slowly lower, tap the right knee down, and then we lift it back up. Right, take your time, tapping and lifting. All right, even in this shape, we're always intending to try to keep a nice flat back when possible, and see if you can send your brain, your mind into that right glute. Tell it to fire up. We need it active and strong. One more tap here. Lift the back knee, pivot to the right, side lunge towards the back of the mat, and then we side lunge to the front. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We're just lunging here from side to side. All right, this time maybe the hands come off the earth and we take it a little bit more unsupported. One more full cycle. And then we get ready. Come all the way back towards the top of the mat, our dynamic chair. Step the feet together, drop into the hips, reach the hands to the sky. Big breath in. And then exhale, we stand. Hands come down. Again, dynamic chair. Inhale, drop it in. And exhale, we stand. Keep going. Find your rhythm. All right, maybe we pick up the pace a little bit this time. Get the heart rate going. One more cycle. Drop in, chair pose. Hold here, big breath in. And then exhale, we fold. Plant the hands, step back, high push-up pose. All right, let's walk through our cues in our plank. You can lower the knees down at any point. Maybe we'll start there. All right, our plank pose, I want you to imagine the back of the head in line with your shoulder blades. So common misalignment is we drop the chin down, we let the head kind of rest here. Instead, I want you to imagine like I have my palm resting on the back of your skull, and you're trying to lift the head up into the hand. All right, and then we pull the belly button in. Full body activity here. The legs are strong, the glutes are engaged. Knee taps, right knee lowers and taps, and then we lift it back up. Left knee taps and lifts. You got one more each side. Don't rush this. Take your time or just stay in your modified version. Let's meet. High push-up pose. From knees or toes, we lower to the belly with control. One long line. All right, this time we're going to cactus the arms. So the elbows go wide, palms are going to face down, and then we lift up here in a little cactus shape. So it's like this unsupported cobra. Tops of the feet, glutes, everything's active here through the low body. And then go ahead, fold forward, palms underneath the shoulders. Let's push up here, downward facing dog. Shorten out your stance, walk the feet a little closer in towards the hands. So we got a little bit of a shorter down dog. And then we're going to get ready here. So we are going to step the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand, and then the left foot to the outside edge of the left hand, or behind it. So feet are behind the wrists, and we step back. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back. Kind of that short down dog stance. Let's do that again. Right foot steps behind the wrist, left foot steps behind the wrist. Right foot steps back, left foot. All right, you got it. Let's move faster. Go into your rhythm. All right, we're just stepping to the top, and we step back. Keep moving. All right, this is our push, our cardio. All right, you go as fast or as slow as you need to here. Few more cycles, maybe picking up the pace, but staying really mindful of our foundation. Next time we step forward, hold in your squat so the feet are towards the top of the mat. And then all we're going to do here is find a seated twist. So the right knee is going to come behind the left foot, and you're going to rotate towards the left side of your mat. Bit of a different transition. If it's too much to sit like this, you just land in a seated shape, resting the legs. All right, if you are able to find this little seated twist, you're gonna get a nice release through that left glute. This is our rest. Let's roll the shoulders up to the ears. Catch the breath here. Yeah, okay. Let's continue to move. Time is moving quickly here. We come back, face the top of the mat. We're gonna unravel into a lunge shape. So the left toes point forward, right foot is back. Lower right knee down to the earth. Keep the toes tucked, and then we're gonna rise up into a low lunge shape. Check in. Neutral pelvis. Left hand on the belly, right hand behind the low back. Everything is square here. The core is engaged, and we're dragging the feet in together. All right, once you feel secure in this lunge, you can bring the hands to the hips, and we're gonna rise and lift that back knee off the earth. So if it's too much with the hands on the hips, bring the hands down. So we lift up. Now we're in our lunge. Nice little micro bend into the back knee. Let's pull. Knee in towards the chest. So it's a standing stork. Right knee pulls in. And then we step back into our lunge. Let's do that again. Knee comes in. And then we step back. Let's make this a little more dynamic. So you can stay with that, or as you pull the knee in, it's a little hop. And then we step back into our lunge. Keep moving. Right knee in. We hop up. All right. Find your rhythm here as we move a little bit faster. All right, maybe releasing the hands off the hips, doing these little one-legged jumps as the palms come down when the knee pulls in, right? 3 more cycles. If you're hopping, see if you can get a little bit more height. All right, last one here. Next time the knee pulls in towards the chest, hold. Standing stork. With control, we trace it back here, warrior 3. Taking flight. Pushing through the back heel. And then a nice big step back. Warrior 2. Cartwheel the hands open. Hands come behind the head. Elbows are wide. Unsupported reversed warrior. We tilt towards the back of the mat. And then unsupported side angle. We start to tilt forward. Right, so now we get into the side body, the obliques, keep moving, tilt it back, and then we tilt it forward. Right, one more cycle here, staying really strong through the body, through the trunk of the body, I should say. That's the top of the hips all the way to the shoulders. And then we stop at center, warrior 2, stretch the arms nice and wide. Let's release, cartwheel the hands down towards the mat. Step back, high push-up pose. Firm through your plank here. Remember, full body activation. So it's not about the arms and the shoulders. Get the legs lit up. Knee taps, left knee taps and lifts. Right knee taps and lifts. You got it. One more each side. Remember, take your time. We don't rush it. Come back, plank pose with control. Lower to the belly from knees or toes. I'd rather you focus on alignment. Cactus the arms, elbows wide, palms face down, chest stays lifted. And then we release, hands under the shoulders, push up, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. All right, land here, nice big breath in, big breath out. Shorten the stance, walk the feet closer in towards the hands. So we got our short down dog. We look forward, left foot behind the left wrist, right foot behind the right. Step it back, left foot back, right foot back. Keep moving, left foot behind the wrist, right foot forward, left and right. Find your rhythm, pick up the pace. Time is moving quickly here. Keep going. Go as fast as you can now, but staying with control. A lot of strength. Last one here, left foot forward, followed by the right. We're going to add on now little jump squats here. So sink into the hips. And then we're going to rise up here. Arms go alongside the body when we stand. So you can just stay here, little squats, or we hop. All right? Push into the big toe mounds. If you're hopping or jump squats, we're grounding into the toes each and every time, finding height Maybe we take the paws out. Big push here. You got a few more cycles. I'm trying to jump off the screen. What are you guys trying to do? Keep moving. Last two. Final one, dropping. And then we find our seated twist. Left knee behind the right. So we're facing the right side of the mat. Roll the shoulders out. This is your rest. I know you can't see me. Hopefully you can hear me. And we roll. Catch your breath. You're almost there. All right, let's find our lunge. We pivot back to the top of the mat. Right toes forward, and we step the left foot back. Lower the left knee down. All right, low lunge shape. Containing your stance. Neutral pelvis, right? Butt is not sticking out. We are intending a long spine. We're connecting to the core. And we're not resting here. We're active. We're pulling the legs together. Right? This little lift up into the body. Back toes are tucked. Hands to the hips. Lift the back knee. We're in our lunge. Right? Little micro bend in that back knee. We need to be able to spring. We're pulling the knee forward. Let's get ready. Connect here, that mental action. Left knee into the chest. And then we step it back into our lunge. All right, start off slow. And then remember your options. So you can stay like this, or as we pull the knee in, we find a little hop, and then we step back, right? So a little hop into our lunge. Maybe getting the hands swinging with the body, finding momentum and rhythm. Push into that big toe mount. All right, let's do one more full cycle. And then we land, knee in towards the chest. Stand up tall. Warrior three, take flight. We slowly kick, left leg back. And remember, we only lower the chest as much as the back leg lifts. All right, so if you can see me, it's like this little pendulum swing. Everything's connected. The body is working together. Warrior two, big step back. Find your lunge. Don't lose your foundations here. Make sure that back hip isn't jetting to the sky. Let's neutralize. And then hands behind the head. Unsupported reverse. Let's tilt over and back. And unsupported side angle. Then we tilt forward. Using the obliques. And just only going as far as it feels good for you. And almost like we're leaning the head back into the hands in order to keep the integrity in the spine. Let's come back all the way to center. Warrior two, stretch the arms wide. Last little push, stay with me. Cartwheel the hands down, step it back. High push-up pose. Tuck the toes. Lower the knees down. We're gonna start off slow. Promise, this is it. We're gonna do these little lawnmower pulls. Left elbow goes to the sky. And then we lower down. And then the right elbow goes to the sky. So lawnmower pull, literally that action. All right, let's come back. Option to keep the knees down, or we lift the knees up. We're amping this up big time. Left elbow to the sky, lawnmower pull. And then we plant the palm down. Left foot steps forward, runner's lunge. Lift the chest up as you sweep the hands back. All right, once we get momentum, that'll be a little bit easier. Palms come down, step back, high push-up pose. Lawnmower pull on the right, right elbow to the sky. Palm comes down, right foot steps forward, runner's lunge. Lift the chest up, arms are sweeping back. Keep moving, hands down, high push-up. Left elbow to the sky, plant the palm, left foot forward, runners. Find your momentum, keep moving. Going a little faster, alternating side to side. Palms down, plank, right elbow high, palm down, right foot forward, runner's lunge. One more each side. Find your rhythm here. All right, this is our last big push. We're stepping the foot through. We're kind of connecting all those shapes together, pulling the knee through, using the strength of the core. Last one should be on the right side, lifting up, runner's lunge, and then release down, step back, high push-up pose, tabletop shape, lower the knees under the hips. And we come back to our breath. Let's slow it down here, cat-cow. Drop the belly, lift the heart as you inhale, and then exhale round. We'll do a few cycles like that. Inhale, heart lifts, belly drops, and then exhale, we round in. Keep moving, slowing the breath down. And one more cycle. There's no rush, but when you're done your final round, we'll find a neutral shape, and then we pivot all the way around. Let's sit cross-legged. I'll face you guys. Left shin in front of the right. And we're just gonna reach the hands up towards the sky. Big breath in. And we'll take this into a bit of a fold. Walk the hands out in front of the body. You can stay lifted here. If you can feel a stretch like this with a nice flat back, proud chest, stay here. If you want to take it deeper, then you just walk the hands out. We find a place to just kind of rest onto the forearms or the palms. And notice where you're feeling this sensation. Most likely you're getting a nice little stretch here through the left hip. We're just beginning to slow everything down. Come back to the breath. Walk the hands back towards the body. Palms behind the body so we can lean the chest back, unravel, right leg forward, crossing the legs. Same thing here, big breath in, reach to the sky, and then exhale, we fold. Walk the hands out. Find your version here, either tucking the chin, slight little rounding, or we keep a flat back. Just a nice rule of thumb, if you do have low back pain, anytime you think about folding forward, you want to keep a proud heart. We don't want to round because that'll just cause more strain through the low back. But if the spine is healthy, then you tuck the chin and you can draw in. All right, let's walk the hands back towards the body. Got a couple options here. If you feel like the heart is still moving very quickly, if it's racing, then stay seated. If you want to come down onto your back, then go ahead and do that. We're going to close out our practice now. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. So you find your kind of resting shape where we can close this out together, either seated or lying on your back. Wherever you are, I invite you to close the eyes down. Really begin to soften through the gaze. And we tap back into our natural rhythm of breath. And even if the heart is still beating quickly, that's okay. Let's start to tune into just that smooth texture of the breath flowing in and out of the body. Wherever you are, let's place both hands over top of the belly, connecting to our solar plexus, our self identity here, our power, our strength. You know, whatever is thrown our way today or this week, that you are strong. You can handle anything that's coming your way. The power of moving our body, getting that energy going so that anything static, anything that is no longer serving you, fear, overwhelm, whatever it is, we move that out of the body. We feel through it, and then we move out of it. Let's close here with just one nice big round of breath, using it as a release. So all together, take a big breath in through the nose, fill up, and then open the mouth, let it go. Thank you so much for being here with me this morning. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too.